Excuse me, sir.
These are not the dorks you're looking for. Hey, what's up there, YouTube friends? It's Grumpy Gamer Dad here.
Darkside Traders 13.
Hey, and we got a special video. I've been promising this one for a while, but life happens. This video is about
Lightsabers.
Lightsabers.
Of many different kinds.
That's right. We've got a wide assortment of lightsabers here that we can show you and talk about. So we'll take a look. All right, so we've both been collectors for quite a while.
Yeah.
A couple of years now. And so we have a pretty good range here of lightsabers, from the basic to the
Cadillac.
Right, the Cadillac. So the basic. These are the ones that you give to your kids to hit each other with.
Yep, they're plastic, light. If they break, they're not that hard to replace.
Yeah, I mean, typically these are going to be under $20. They're very simple. Typically, you push the button and it telescopes out. That's it. No frills, no sound, no light.
And then this next step up would be the build your own Disney Park sabers.
Yes.
Sound and flash and clash and all this other fun stuff.
Yeah, you go to the parks and you see a bunch of snot jockeys, little kids, there, and usually this area is a nightmare because they're all putting their stuff together. This is an older one.
Yeah, that's the first one.
And so you can put whatever blade you want and whatever pieces. I've got a piece here from
Dooku's.
Yeah, Count Dooku. I've got
and then these ones too. These ones have the place to hold the crystals.
The Kyber crystals.
Kyber crystals. That's the Death Star is made of.
Right. That's what You just gave away the entire plot for Rogue One, so no one needs to watch it.
Spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Kyber crystals
On a 5-year-old movie.
Right. So yeah, that was the first one I ever made there at the parks. Fun. You can easily spend hours there driving your wife nuts.
Driving yourself nuts trying to find the right parts to complete a Dooku saber.
Right. And then these were like $20.
$20, yeah.
I think they just went up in price.
25, 30 now?
Yeah, something like that. And then you get into this bad boy.
The double-sided.
Build it yourself. I built a purple Darth Maul with most of the Darth Maul components. But the cool thing about this one, you can go akimbo.
Those ones are really fun. And then the soundboards on the newer ones are a lot different. They're a little more sensitive.
Yes.
A little louder. The first version, not so much. Sounds a little more toy-y.
Right? So the make your own sabers can currently be found in Tomorrowland at Disneyland and Disney World.
Disney World, yeah.
What happens next year, next summer, when Galaxy's Edge opens up, aka Star Wars Land, we can only speculate. There's supposed to be some new nerdy stuff going on there.
Hopefully a metallic build your own lightsaber. Well, that's not so chintzy. I'd definitely pay them more money.
Could you imagine
all
that?
The time.
If they had like a CNC lathe there, oh my god, like a water jet, and they're lathing them out. You're like, I want this and this.
Be amazing.
Dude. My wife would be like, we've been here 8 hours. I'm like, I still need to find
That'd be my whole trip.
Right? So those are the basic. The double-bladed one is about $45, I think. $40 to $50. Yeah, somewhere in that range now. The prices have gone up a little bit more as Disney makes them a little bit better. And then we take a huge, like, the Kessel Run, like 12 parsecs rather, jump forward with one of these.
The Hasbro Signature Series.
Yes. So this is Yoda's, and it's the Black Series FX Saber. This is the older one that came out about 2 years ago. This one I like because it's smaller for Yoda, and if you were to fight with this, you can always have like an offhanded one. And
it's a Shoto blade.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Then we're going to leap into the new Disney Park sabers.
Yes. So this was right around the time of the Disney Lucasfilm buyout. These were made, and then last year they introduced this
my Rey lightsaber / Anakin / Luke.
Yes, this is a cool lightsaber. The blade's out right now. The blade is removable on these,
which is so amazing.
It's got lights and sound when the blade's installed.
Yeah, Clash, flash on clash.
Right.
It makes noise when you hit it against another lightsaber.
Which you shouldn't, because these aren't battle-hardened blades.
No,
we'll get into
light
that.
dueling. Light dueling.
Yeah,
which we'll show later.
We're going to get into battle-hardened when we get into the cray-cray stuff over here. Disney's trying to rewrite history and say this is Rey's lightsaber. The box actually said Rey's lightsaber. Before that, they had that on display, and it was called the Hero lightsaber, which I found amusing because this used to belong to Anakin Skywalker.
Mm-hmm. And it murdered lots of younglings.
This lightsaber killed children.
So many.
So this is a lightsaber that Obi-Wan took from Anakin in their fight at Mustafar that cost Anakin an arm and 2 legs.
Yep, it's the only lightsaber to span all 3 trilogies.
Yes, and now it's broke.
And then the next one would be the Rogue One Special Edition Darth Vader.
That one is... I have never actually seen that in the stores. So, yes, this is Darth Vader from that badass scene at the end of Rogue One, spoilers, where he chops the crap out of the rebels.
Yeah, and oddly enough, another thing, it's the only Darth Vader lightsaber that Hasbro or Disney's ever made with the cords. All the other ones do not have these wires.
Yeah, it's like he's still homemaking his blade or something.
Mm-hmm. And all the battle damage and all these other things are really cool. There we go.
Ooh. Shiny.
Fancy.
It's heavy, actually.
I know, they are really well-made hilts. They're pretty heavy-duty. That's one thing I really like about them. A lot of people complain about the soundboards being cheesy and the lights not being the best, but for the hilt, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
For our next one, using the Force.
The Force is strong with these two.
This is the Kylo Ren Disney Saber.
I think I pulled something with that.
Force pull.
Can you strain a hammy doing the Force pull?
This is honestly the heaviest one out of the lot because it's so just beefy and metal.
Well, and plus you have the side blades, which we never quite understood what they were for.
Mm-hmm. They just look so cool.
It did look kind of badass. It was just for badassery. You know, that's a relatively new one. I'm curious to see, the next movie, what sabers they're going to give us next year.
Oh, Rey's getting a new one. I would put money on that. Rey's getting a new lightsaber. Hopefully it's green. Maybe
I'm leaning towards green, only because they seem to be rewriting the original trilogy in such a way that I think
going to come out with a green one.
They're going to go to like a desert planet with like a hut, and it's going to pop out of BB-8, and it'll be green.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
All right, so these next two, this is what kicked it all off for both of us. There's a story behind this one here. This is my first blade, Hasbro's signature FX blade, and I bought that in 2015 at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim.
Yep, and then I got my first part of my Darth Maul Hasbro signature FX series there, which the other half took me 2 or 3 years to get because I finally had to track it down for a decent price on eBay.
Well, plus probably years of asking your wife and doing dishes and stuff.
Yes.
All right, so now we've shown you the lightsabers. Let's show you kind of the workings of them. This is the Obi-Wan. The back end screws off. It's all solid metal. Here you've got the sound card, the speaker. So the cool thing about these is they're all metal. There's a little space in here that the blade will seat into, just so. And that's the cool thing about this older one is when you don't have a blade in, it makes that weird kind of broken sound when you hit the activation button. I will say that the new Disney Park Sabers, it's easier to get the blade on and off than it is now. These blades are a pain in the ass to get on and off, but once the blade's in, you're ready to rock and roll. We bought this, I bought mine, and you bought yours at Celebration Anaheim 2015, and that's kind of when the bromance really, truly started. We went there, our wives had actually purchased tickets for our birthdays, because they're about a month apart.
Yeah.
And so while we were there, the wives went to Disneyland, and we got to geek out, and we saw these, and had to get them.
Yeah, it was the hardest choice of whose to get.
Right.
Because I remember you were wanting Mace Windu's.
They had Mace Windu's, and so we bought them, and we're walking around. They're still in the box, brand new, and we're walking around the con like with them. You know, we
were
didn't take
the
them
belle
out.
of the ball.
Oh yeah.
We were the belle of the ball.
People were coming up to like, where'd you get that? And we're like, we got them here. And like, how much did you pay? And we told perfect strangers, but we didn't tell our wives.
Yeah, we lied to our wives how much we paid for them, but perfect strangers were like, oh, dude.
And they're like, what? And we're like, yes, you may kiss the ring. You know, we were like con royalty that day.
It was amazing. Yeah, we bought batteries at the hotel downstairs and then put them in, and then we had to make sure they worked.
God, of course. And then we were supposed to meet the wives at Disneyland afterwards. So what do? Well, these are detachable blades, and they actually come with a belt attachment.
Yes, which we'll go over in detail later.
And so we were like, we're going to take the blades out and we're going to wear them to the parks. So we get off the bus, and the biggest shit-eating grins on our faces, and our wives take one look at us with these lightsabers dangling from our belts, and they're like, we actually married you weirdos? What a bunch of dorks.
The best part was going through security because they were just like, oh my god, is that a lightsaber?
Right? And we're like, kiss the ring again. And so by the first ride, they were in our wife's backpack.
Yeah, a little heavier than you'd think, especially walking around like 5-10 miles in Disneyland with them.
All right, so we've taken you through what you can get at the parks and what you can let your kids play with and even let your kids build.
And the next one is a step up, to say the least. This one is from Saber Forge, a company based out of Beaverton, Oregon, which is basically Portland, Oregon. And they make amazing custom blades. On their website, there's a bunch of pre-made ones you can pick through. It's Darth Revan's lightsaber. And they're amazing, really well made. The soundboards are pretty decent. They're a lot better than they were a few years ago because a lot of people used to complain about Saber Forge and their soundboards. But, I mean, really well put together lightsabers. The main difference between the Saber Forge lightsabers and the Disney ones is all the internal stuff, the soundboards, the blades change color. You can get red, blue, green. It changes between any color. The sound fonts, I think this one has 9 different sound fonts. They're made a little heavier metal than obviously the plastic ones.
Yeah, I mean, this, to put it in perspective, you know, you can take your Mount Monkey to Disneyland and they can spend hours and hours customizing their saber for about $20, like I said, or you go, 30 times more and you do that with real metal.
Actually duel with these ones, like actual sword fighting.
So when we're talking about dueling, we are talking about a couple nerds dressed up. Not necessarily nerds, but most likely.
Most likely.
Dressed up, possibly. There's actually classes, college courses in lightsaber fighting. I've seen this. And so the blade is thicker. And we haven't lit one of these up, but the blade's thicker, so when you hit it, you're not going to break the delicate LEDs inside.
They're really nice because they're heavy, but they're not too heavy. Because a lot of people will actually use these for like almost fencing, because they do have like sports almost with it, where they do like a world championship, and it's more like fencing than anything, but it's still people, full-on adults, swinging blades at each other.
So that's pretty much quote stock, right? But when you want to talk about real customized sabers,
this is the Cadillac of customized sabers. They have Cargill Customs from Texas is where I got this from for one. Shout out, because he was amazing. Got it to me super duper quick. Yeah, the soundboard itself is very itty bitty, and it is just amazingly expensive. Like I think $200 for a soundboard. Yeah. This is another one though. You could completely duel with it. It has a chassis, everything. We're gonna crack it open, and I'll show you some of the insides of it. Alright, so with these custom ones, and Saber Forge is just the same. You need an Allen wrench to get it out. And it's this tiny itty bitty screw that holds in the blade retention, the blade plug. And it's the same idea, the LEDs are in here. It's just there's nothing that screws in, where these blades are actually hollow. So it's an LED shooting the light up, which makes it a little bit less bright than some of the Disney ones, but with the LEDs being so powerful, it kind of is about the same.
It's like a Rancor farting.
Right.
More aggressive sounding.
Oh yeah. Like I said, the soundboards are insane. And then it also has where you can switch the color of the blade. And it goes anything red, blue, green can make. And then flash on clash. most epic lightsaber battle ever.
You've seen us show off our blades, now see us fight! Alright, so there you go. Our little lightsaber display, showing off our collection here. I hope you enjoyed it. And, you know, maybe you're compelled to go out and buy yourself a lightsaber 12. Yeah, I recommend starting small.
Yes.
And, you know, maybe not telling exactly how much you paid for it, because I think it was 2 years I finally told my wife how much I paid for my Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So
it was a while.
Yeah.
It was a while to come clean.
That's all the time we've got. Until next time, this is Grumpy Gamer Dad.
Dark Side Traders 13.
Saying, remember, a good lightsaber is hard to find.
And understanding wife is even harder to find.